We solve speed. Because back in 1976, you could have breakfast in London and lunch in New York on the very same morning. But today, that same trip takes twice as long. We are flying slower now than we did 50 years ago. We had this, the CONCORDE. It flew at Mach 2, which is twice the speed of sound, faster than the Earth rotates. From January 1976 to October 2003, we had a commercial passenger plane that could cross the Atlantic before you finished watching Titanic. But then, we just stopped. We chose to go slower. So the question is, why? To understand why Concorde died, you have to understand why it was born. And that story, that starts in the middle of the Cold War. In October 1947, Chuck Yeager climbs into the Bell X-1, basically a rocket with wings, and breaks the sound barrier. For the first time in human history, a person travels faster than their own sound. And immediately, the question becomes, well, if a fighter jet can do this, why not a passenger plane? This is the late 1950s, the jet age. Optimism is everywhere.
Welcome to the world of Pan Am!
Pan Am is buying 707s, and the future is speed. I mean, everything is about going faster. President Kennedy announces we are going to the moon.
Before this decade is out, of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to the Earth.
Not because it is easy, but because it is hard. The space race is on, and both sides are pouring money into proving their technological superiority. 3 countries decide that if we are racing to space, why not race to supersonic passenger flight? America launches the Boeing SST program. The Soviet Union develops the Tupolev Tu-144. And Britain and France, traditional rivals, do something unprecedented. They partner up. On November 29, 1962, Britain and France sign a treaty. Neither country could afford the astronomical cost alone, but together they could split it. This was not just engineering. This was national pride on the line. It took hundreds of millions of pounds and francs, thousands of engineers, all to answer one question. Can we make passengers go faster than sound? America gave up in 1971 due to costs and environmental concerns. The Boeing SST, it never flew. The Soviet Tu-144 flew first, but barely. It suffered 2 major crashes, and after fewer than 100 commercial flights, mostly mail and cargo, it was grounded forever. But Concorde? On March 2nd, 1969, Concorde takes off from Toulouse. It worked. And it kept working. Let me show you what they actually built. Look at the shape. Long, narrow, needle-like. The fuselage is 8 feet 7 inches wide inside, just under 9 feet. For comparison, a 747 is over 20 feet wide. They designed this entire thing without computers. No modern tech, just math, slide rules, and trial and error. The wing is called an ogival delta, triangular with a curved leading edge. This shape was essential. At low speeds, it created extra lift. At high speeds, it minimized drag. And the heat. At Mach 2, air friction heats the nose to over 260 degrees Fahrenheit, which means the entire fuselage expands 6 to 10 inches during flight. Pilots said you could feel the heat through the cockpit windows.
The window is really hot to the touch. You can't almost keep your hand on it.
And you would watch the plane literally grow longer during cruise. The fuel system is brilliant too. Fuel does not just sit in tanks. It flows around the plane during flight, forward for takeoff, backward for supersonic cruise, constantly shifting to keep the center of gravity perfect. To even reach Mach 2, Concorde needed afterburners, which are basically jet engines with extra fire. They would gulp fuel just to push through the sound barrier. And when they did, they created a sonic boom. A pressure wave so loud it could break windows. But the real genius was the nose. That beautiful delta wing created a problem, because to generate enough lift at slow landing speeds, Concorde had to approach the runway at a steep angle. From the cockpit, pilots could not see the runway because the nose was simply in the way. So engineers designed the nose to droop. It literally hinges down 5 degrees for takeoff and landing, then retracts back up for flight. They called it the droop snoot. Yeah, really. Because the snoot drooped. It looks ridiculous, like a bird looking for worms. But without it, pilots were blind. It was goofy, but it was genius, and people loved it. Kids would hear that distinctive roar and run to windows just to watch it take off. Because look at it next to everything else. While every other plane looked like a tube with wings, Concorde looked like a dart. On January 21st, 1976, Concorde enters commercial service. The cabin was narrow, with only 4 seats across. Seats were fine, not spacious, but nobody cared about the seat size. They did not care because of the Mach meter on the wall. Passengers would see it creep up to 0.99, and then, click, Mach 1. The whole cabin would erupt in applause. Every single flight. At cruise, Concorde flew at 60,000 feet, 11 miles high. You could see the curvature of the earth, and the sky was not blue anymore. It was a deep purple, almost black space. Flight attendants served champagne and caviar at 1,350 miles per hour, a full French meal that took 2.5 hours. So by the time you finished dessert, you were landing in New York. British Airways added routes from London to New York, Washington, and Barbados. Air France flew to Rio and Caracas. But the most insane route was to Hong Kong's Kai Tak Airport. The approach there was legendary. Pilots had to bank hard right between apartment buildings just to hit a runway jutting into the harbor. That airport closed in 1998. If you think flying supersonic is crazy, wait until you see the footage of those landings. We're doing a deep dive on that next week, so yeah, hit subscribe so you don't miss that one. But back to the fleet. Only 20 aircraft were built in total. And despite what you might think, Concorde's safety record was actually good. For 27 years, it flew without a fatal accident. Until the year 2000. On July 25th, 2000,